Okay, so this is the first out of two tutorials that I'm intending to make. The first one will be about events and lambdas, and the other one will be a little bit about do-tween. So, I've set up a basic scene here, which consists of one player, one game object that will consist like some scripts we have in our game, like level control and score control, and the death is a simple box collider which will trigger death when we get inside of it. Okay, that's simple enough. So now I will create I will do exactly that. I will firstly create a death script. So this will be just a super simple example, and I will say on trigger enter 2D if other dot compare tag is player, then I don't know what should happen. Find object of type level control dot player died. We should have maybe something like find object of type UI, but switch to end screen or something like that. So let me just create first scripts UI and script level control. Just for the sake of purpose for this tutorial, I will now let's simply create all the methods in them. And for the sake of simplicity, I will only I will add them in this game object. Okay, so when player dies, I will simply print out the player has died, and in the UI I will print out switching to the end screen. Now player doesn't have any movement or anything, so we'll basically move the player himself to the death. Okay, yeah, I think I haven't attached it here yet. So, in the old traditional way, we can see that the player has died and we're switching to the end screen. And yeah, this looks like a pretty straightforward thing, because although find object of type is expensive, we can cache it and do various things, and that's perfectly fine. Like we could do it like this. And then call this, and this will be a glimpse faster than the previous one. But we're here we are disturbing the independence of the components. For example, if we were to simply remove let's say a UI script from the level control and we don't have it anywhere in the scene, what will happen? We will get a null reference exception, and that's bad, right? scripts should be as independent as possible. So I've created something that is called a global event handler, and it utilizes the so-called observer pattern. For example, we have that class, that event pool, and inside of it you can okay, maybe I shouldn't do it graphically, since maybe I couldn't explain it properly through the graphics. Maybe this will be a lot easier. So for example, let's say you want to know when the player dies. You would simply go here and type in level event pool dot subscribe, and you would type here the event type you want to listen to. So we will have event type, and that's the class I've created. So it's a public enum, and you populate it every time you think you need a new event type. So here I've created the enum type player died, and this is the type, and here we need to create the second parameter is actually a method which will be called when this event fires. So this method should always return void, and because our signature is like this, it shouldn't contain any parameter. In a few moments you will see how we can handle multiple parameters method. And here we oh, actually no, I'm doing it in a wrong class. Level control should on awake it should listen to the event that player died. Yeah, I already have that method. Silly me. Okay, and that is only responsible for triggering the event. And that's it. You do not have any external dependencies. You do not have find object of type, none of those expensive things. You only, you only trigger the event, and you're telling everybody who is interested in the player's death that the player's death has happened. Here we will do exactly the same thing. We can do it, switch to the end screen. We can call that method since it's void and it doesn't have any parameters. So here we should only get the player has died printed out and not anything else. Exactly. Why is this happening? Well, because I haven't added the UI thing here. If I add it, doesn't matter how or where, we got both. The player has died and switching to the end screen, as you can see once again. And I think this is much cleaner thing. Also, one of the drawbacks that we need to care about here is that every time our object gets destroyed, we need to unsubscribe from the method, from the event pool, since that can cause some issues. But yes, that can cause some issues, and you should just, I mean, I could explain it thoroughly, but it's okay if you trust me, like, without questions, because okay, I will say it anyways. Because if we don't unsubscribe, that method player died would persist in memory, and when we trigger the event would call a method from an object that is destroyed, and that will cause some issues. That will, like, throw you some errors, and you wouldn't know what is going on. I hope so far everything is clear. Now I'll do another thing, and that thing is, yeah, let's say a player finishes a mission. For example, I don't know, some mission. I will disable death game object, or I can delete it entirely. And let's say here, mission, and every mission, let's say, has a reward, like reward for passing the mission. So here we can do exactly the same, other than compare tag player. Of course, we can do like find object of type level control and all of that same. I will not say shit because it's useful still in some cases, but here we're doing everything event based. So mission completed, and we'll say reward for passing the mission. We'll leave this to 100. Also, we should create another class that is called score controller. Score control, actually. Sorry. Actually, yeah. I think it's better for it to be handled in score control. And mission completed. Okay. Let's say here, maybe we need some sort of UI, and we'll say here as well, add, no, we'll not do it here, yeah, but if we do not have score control inside of our, let's say here, private int total coins, we will say print total coins plus equals reward for passing the mission, and here I will say print current coins amount total coins. This is perfectly fine. I think you've got it up until now. I mean, oh yeah. It says null reference exception. Why? Because we don't have score controller here. We'll add it. And now it works. Okay. Next thing, we will implement this using the event pool we've created. Let's say event pool trigger, and here we will say event type mission passed, create a new type, and we pass reward for passing the mission as a parameter of this method, of this overload of this method. Yes. Now, in the score controller, in the awake method, we say event pool dot subscribe, and we say mission passed, and we say mission completed. And it's throwing us an error since the subscribe only receives a method that returns void and doesn't have any parameter. If we are passing any parameter in the trigger, we should add this generic type called int. If we're passing additional parameters, these parameters could be anything, int, object, score control, even like anything. And we can fix this with these things. But yeah, I won't do it now, because now the only purpose is this. So, and maybe here, when we get the coins, we can say event pull the trigger and say event type update coins UI or something like that, and we pass the total coins. Since for updating the UI, you could use either this, or in the UI you can also keep these things and say total coins plus equals arg0, and then here we would have some text would be equal total would be equal to the string or something like that. Or we could trigger this, and he can only listen to event type update coins UI, and here the parameter would be not the amount that happened when the mission finished, but the total amount of coins. And we would say just text equals total amount to string. I hope this 18 minutes tutorial makes sense, and if it doesn't, I'll answer to any of the questions you might have. So I really hope this makes sense, and I'll be creating a tutorial on DoToIn next. Thank you. Oh, I totally forgot to explain lambdas. Lambdas are just basically inline methods. So what is an inline method? It's a method that you can put right here, like update coin, right, total coins, and you just say text equals total coins. If there are multiple parameters, you would have to have them bracketed up, 1, 2, or whatever, like int, and that's it. Like lambdas are nothing special, nothing too advanced. They're just inline methods, shorter version of the methods. If you don't want to write method inside a class, you just write it inside a parameter that requires it, and that's it.